And welcome back to MTG Grinders with our Beers with the Boys set review. We're now having a look at the red cards. I'm here with Frank, Lewis and Tyler. And our first card off the rank is Alicia, who smiles at death for 1 red and 2 3/2 first striker. Whenever she attacks, you may pay 1 white or 1 black, and 1 white and 1 black. If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. I think she's awesome.
She sounds like a lovely person to hang out with.
Oh, yeah. I had an opponent play Alicia, and then next turn proceed to delve a Ponyback Brigade into the graveyard and then attack me and put a Ponyback Brigade on the battle.
You actually had that?
I had that happen to me. I actually managed to win, but yeah, it sucked. This card's awesome.
Yeah, she's really good, and if you happen to kill the creature, if it has any battlefield effects or anything, or Ponyback Brigade's the first thing I thought of when I saw that, but I played against I think it was Owen, and he was doing that. He had a Jeskai stage that he kept running back with it, and
That's great.
if I block and kill it, he destroys the card.
Yeah, that seems good.
I think just the base stats on this is playable.
Awesome.
As it is.
Yeah, 3/2 first track is awesome.
Yeah.
If you ignore that trigger ability there with the attack, it's still fine putting you down.
Absolutely.
And that's just upside, and it's awesome upside.
First pickable.
So yeah, slam first pickle.
Yep.
And constructed?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Just no haste on that. No way to get that ability off without it dying. And
I think she's cheap enough that there's a possibility, but it's unlikely.
Yeah. Actually, it's just the best name. One of the best names.
oh, absolutely.
One of the best magic card names.
It's no
like
brutal
not just in
object.
the set, but
Or Destructive Dragon.
Yeah.
I would like to bring back a Hornet Queen with her.
Stop.
Howard, two or less.
Next time you gave up on it.
I did.
Yeah. So
Archbond. 1 red and 2. Instant. Choose target creature. Whenever that creature is dealt damage this turn, it deals that much damage to each other creature and each player.
noticing an Alicia quote in the flavor text I had with that.
Mm.
You must die today and make your death worthy of legend.
well done.
I played this in Limited and it was awesome.
Mm?
It was
Yeah,
really good.
I think the upside for this is pretty high.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
It takes a little bit of work to make it awesome, but it's a solid card.
You have to put yourself in a position where this is good, because you can find yourself in positions where this is bad, like very bad.
Mm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think the upside is high enough to
Yeah, absolutely.
warrant always playing.
Yeah, absolutely. You've just got to avoid getting into a position.
I think it's also got to play some commander as well.
You know, crack the board.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially the fact that it's in red, and red is a bad colouring commander.
The worst.
So I think it's definitely got a place in those mono red decks.
Yep.
Bathing Dragonfire, 1 red and 2 sorcery, deals 4 damage to target creature.
Good all that.
I played it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a couple of my pre-release pool and I played it in my first, the red white one. So
Splash for 3 red card. This was one of them. It's good all day.
yeah, I would easily splash for this if it was my only red card in draft.
Yeah, it's never getting played anywhere else than.
I reckon if when Stoker Plains rotates out, it might see the play.
No. 3 for 4 at sorcery. It's terrible.
Standard in general is getting weaker, so I think there might be a place for it. Like Stoker Plains is so much better, but yeah,
It is.
Well, the good thing about set reviews is we get to look back and laugh at each other.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not in your basket with this one.
Look, I agree. It's being hurt by being a sorcery, but yeah.
Flame Slash was great.
Bloodfire Enforcers, 1 red and 3 for a 5/2 body. Has first strike and trample as long as an instant card and a sorcery card are in your graveyard.
It's a lot of hoops. This was played against me a few times on Saturday, and it never had trample in the first round. Every time I picked it up, went, oh, that's that card, check the graveyard, and then just carried on. It was like,
it's pretty narrow.
Yeah.
You're going to play it as a 4-drop if you need a 4-drop. Hopefully you've got something
I think it goes
else.
a little bit higher than that. I think you can play this card, but if you're taking it, you need to prioritize and play correctly with it.
And the 2 toughness really hurts it if you can't turn that first strike on.
Absolutely.
See, I think you've just got to play it as a 5-2, and if
And
the
get
other
bonus.
things happen
Yeah.
to occur, well,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I think playing a 5-2 is awful. Like Canyon Lurkers is just
It's
very
pretty
average,
it's
and
a pretty
Canyon
awful.
Lurkers, like without that text, Canyon Lurkers is 6 better than more. So if you
What
can't
was the
turn,
morph of Canyon? Was it 5? 4 was it? Okay.
yeah, it was
I
4.
never,
it was,
I literally never played it. And it was 5 to just play it as a 5-2.
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that. If you're not getting that text, it's just awful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're only going to play it because of your curve. And
Yeah.
If you happen to don't have anything
If
better
you've got nothing else, yeah, I'd rather just play like an off-color wolf or something.
Yeah.
Just play a trigger. You need to build your deck around that. You have to have enough instants and sorceries and a good mix of the two. You can't just have a sugar one and not enough of the other.
Break through the line. 1 red and 1 for an enchantment. For 1 red, target creature with power 2 or less gains haste until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. People are talking standard playable.
No.
2 or
Okay.
less.
Which people?
Against haste.
Oh.
Who are these people?
I'm reading online that standard playable in your red deck wins.
Power 2 or less against haste until turn can't be blocked.
Make your guys unblockable.
Well, spend a turn to play this.
So, yeah, wouldn't you rather just play another red?
I can't see
aggressive
this.
card, like another
Sorry, I
creature?
can't see this. I can't see this. People are wrong.
People are right.
People are wrong.
Fair enough.
It might be in a sideboard for something, but yeah, I can't see this in a 60 list doing it.
If you have a lot of unlimited low power creatures that have good damage the opponent abilities, then maybe. But yeah, like I'm stretching.
Yeah. I'm not going to play it in limited.
I'm not going to pick it. I just don't think it's good.
Collateral damage, 1 red. Instance. As an additional cost to cast collateral damage, sacrifice a creature. Lightning bolt. That's what the rest of the text need. All it needs to say is lightning bolt.
It's the most hilarious card. If anyone hasn't actually looked at the card, I suggest you do because it is hilarious.
This was
It's like he's got a rocket launcher.
Yeah, it's blown out the past end of it. It's great.
in the context of limited, this isn't the worst. But you really want to be playing a real aggressive deck that just wants to get all of that damage through. Like I played this. One of my decks was a low curve red white aggressive deck, and I played this, and a lot of the times I just did it to do like the last couple of bits of damage.
Just through their face.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to win those games anyway. You just attack the next turn.
Possibly, but there are a few times where we were racing. Well, it was a good response to removal as well.
Yep.
I found
Yeah.
but it's a bad roll. But in limited, it has a place.
It can do its thing. Yeah.
I think you have to be very specific.
Yeah.
Red-based aggressive.
Don't put
Could
it.
we use
Don't
as,
just put it
as
in.
bolts 5 to 8 in Pyromancer decks?
Not
Sacrifice.
particularly, because you need to sacrifice a creature in order to get this thing on.
Well, I'm saying,
So that you can't stack a trigger because the sacrifice is an additional
Yeah, like-
cost.
Only if you've already got a token from a previous spell.
Yeah. So you need a token for it to go off, but those decks don't really need more bolts. Like if they're going to play more bolts, they've already got access to items.
Yeah, they're probably going to.
well, in limited, I'm going to
Yeah.
play that all day.
Sorry?
In limited, I'm going to play that card all day.
Okay.
I think it'll find a place in standard, just because it is a bolt.
I definitely think people will tinker with it. I don't disagree that people will be testing it with like Pauling Outburst and Goblin Rebel Master.
Now, I know I'm a fan of the whole artifact decks, and could find a place in that as well,
As
but
opposed to Shrapnel Blast.
along with Shrapnel Blast.
Along with Shrapnel Blast.
Yep.
So Lightning Bolt, Shrapnel Blast, and Collateral Damage.
No, just collateral damage and Shrapnel Blast in standard.
Is it?
Standard!
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is sacrificing a creature really better than paying extra amount of Lightning Strike then?
Well, I'm sort of thinking as a response to something like Crackling Doom.
You still have to.
Crackling Doom still doesn't target.
Unless you've got no.
Yeah,
you don't do
like
one
if you've got
creature.
one. Yeah.
Maybe. Well, time will tell with this card. There's a lot of pros and cons to it, and people are definitely going to test it.
Although-
I think
It's
there's
got all
room-
the text of Lightning Bolt on it. So.
Yeah,
Although
I think
it
there's
is-
room for it in standard, personally.
if they become like this really low curve aggressive deck, I can see that being the
absolutely.
sideboard against removal. So.
Well, I originally thought that this card would be good with a Chrome Crusader. But obviously you need to trigger Chrome Crusader first.
Yep.
So.
Define Ogre, 1 red and 5 for a 3/5 body. When it enters the battlefield, choose one. You're already looking at me like that, Tyler. I haven't even got to the good part of the card yet.
The good part.
Put a +1/+1 counter on it, or destroy target artifact. So in limited, you're looking at 1 red and 5 for a 4/6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like the art's the best part.
Yeah, the art's great.
the art is really cool.
And you just,
If you happen to,
I love the
Yeah.
dragons in the background.
if you happen to
Yeah.
have an opponent where they've just drafted a lot of the few artifacts,
I believe all of the. I believe is it all of the
Not really.
the choose ability cards have dragons in them?
Probably.
I think they all have something to do with a dragon in the background.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
I'm pretty sure.
Dragon Rage, 1 red and 2 for an instant. Add red to your mana pool for each attacking creature you control. Until end of turn, attacking creatures you control gain red. This creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. I think this is one of the more interesting cards in red.
I think it was solid. I had it in my pre-release pool, and it was really good. I top decked it to win a game at one point just because I needed like some extra reach, and this deck gave me the reach.
So let's say you attack with 4 guys. You cast this, you get 4 red and you
4 red mana.
and you can just choose to pump it all into the one
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, and
The one they don't block.
and any more red sources you have, you can use to pump other dudes.
I can't see
It's
myself
fine.
picking this in a draft highly at all.
Yeah,
I think it's
I'm
way
not-
too situational.
I'm not
Sealed,
gonna-
sealed, like you said,
Yeah.
sealed could be is probably a lot better.
I'm not going to pick it highly. I think in the same format we've got Trumpet Blast and Warflare, which are both far better.
Yeah.
But
And Russian Battle as
this
well.
this is a fine additional card to provide a kind of defense.
Kind of like just a pseudo blast, if you will.
Yeah, like you're at the
The
very
Trumpet Blast
very
is just
least-
better than this.
The fact that you can decide which creatures get the bonus is kind of relevant sometimes.
Yeah, after blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, after
After
blocks.
blocks, whatever's unblocked.
Does that dragon in the
Um,
background have 4 wings?
Yeah, the Mardu dragons have 4 wings.
Oh yeah, sure, because you can cast this against them. This sort of
Fierce Invocation, 1 red and 4. Sorcery. Manifest the top card of your library, then put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So for 5 mana, you get a 4/4.
That might become something better.
It's-
I don't know how to sit on it.
Yeah, I don't think it's terribly. Yeah, I think it's one of those ones. But I don't think
If
you're
you-
terribly unhappy to play it.
It's a curve filler. Yeah, you don't mind putting it in your limited deck, but
Yeah, like
yeah, you're not picking it hard.
with Khans, you don't really need a curve filler and fire. That's when we get more.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's a good point.
You're absolutely right there.
Flame Rush Rider, 1 red and 4. There seems to be a lot of 1 red and 4s in red. For a 3/3. Whenever it attacks, put a token onto the battlefield tapped and attacking that's a copy of another target attacking creature. Exile the token at the end of combat and it has dash for 2 red and 2.
I like this guy.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
very
this
good.
is solid. And this is one of those cards that's just going to be so much better in the current draft format than it will later when we're drafting Dragons to target first, because you'll be able to draft your deck around it with to a certain
Yeah,
extent.
absolutely.
It seems to me to be one of those cards that's going to be better played than red. Like, it reads okay, but when you play it, it's going to be much better.
Okay.
Right,
Right. Absolutely.
Like I had that played against me very least. It was pretty strong.
I feel like dashing this guy in with just like some Voltron guy, or even just a nice body, like a 3/3 for 3, it's just good. Getting into damage, and yeah, I think he's fine. Like going in from having 3 power to having 9 power coming in on turn 4. That sounds pretty good.
Sure. Flamewake Phoenix, 2 red and 1 for a 2/2 flying haste. Attacks each turn if able and has ferocious. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you may pay red. If you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Oh, that's good.
So I think it's standard playable.
Yep. I don't know how, like, a lot of people look at especially these 3 mana 2/2 Phoenix and just start comparing it to Chandra's Phoenix. I don't think that really serves much of a purpose. Like, look at this in its own terms. Yeah, this is solid. Ferocious isn't as hard to get than a lot of people seem to think it is.
Especially with in red Butcher of the Horde.
Yeah, you got Storm Wrath Dragon and the 4-mana Phoenix.
I know I originally looked at this card and I just missed it straight away. And I actually did compare it to Charged Phoenix, and I still do, because those lists, this is exactly the same
It was
thing.
the last Phoenix that was
Yeah.
playable.
And but Charged Phoenix, in my opinion, to this was more applicable until I seen the lists start coming out for this, and it's actually, it's like it was always going to be solid, but it's more solid than what I had perceived to be. So it's a good card.
With this card, does it sort of start to allow for a resurgence in Mono Red Devotion?
I don't know.
Possibly.
I
I can see it happening.
I can see it happening. There's I can't remember the names of the 4-mana 4/2 that deals in damage.
Fnatic.
Sneaky look at the
Fnatic.
camera.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Sneaky look at the camera.
Don't do it. I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
Storm Breath, Fnatic,
This interacts
bonus,
so well
hammer.
with Fnatic,
Yeah.
with
Even in Green Red,
Kerberos,
even in,
Kerberos stuff.
even with green red monsters, Fnatic is only us for, you can get to 4/4 boon stays here, Polar Kranos.
You got a lot of 3-drops in that deck
Yeah.
already, though,
Yeah.
which is.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying there's synergy with the 4 toughness to be
yeah.
able to allow this guy to. Sorry, is it
Yeah.
4?
For
It's
power.
4 power.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 power that allows this thing to really get back on the board.
Definitely this will get played in standard.
Yeah,
I think so.
I can't
Absolutely.
see it not being played in
no,
standard.
absolutely. These cards are always always
Yeah,
played and really popular.
it just depends on how good the deck as a whole is, but this
Yeah.
this deck card's definitely.
That's sweet. It was.
And it's
it
going to
was
be around for a while as well, so
Yeah.
it's got plenty of time to get played. Anything outside of standard?
Limited, like it's
Just 5 limited.
fine. I don't know if I first pick it though.
It depends on what the.
Like, say if you open this pack and it depends on what else is in it. I don't know if I rate this. Like,
Yeah, I probably like.
I don't think this is a bomb.
something.
I don't think this is a bomb.
No, it's just.
It's not
It's
escaping.
solving a
Yeah,
No,
like,
it's
if you were to choose,
it's more than solid.
if you were to
If
choose,
you ever could go like a decent removal spell.
if you were to choose between this or light form, for instance, like I think you just take
Yeah.
light form.
Yeah.
Life form or cloud form.
Yeah.
Friendly fire, 1 red and 3, instant target creature's controller revealed. Do I bother reading the rest of the card, Tyler, or do I just skip? Target creature controller reveals a card at range from his or her hand. Friendly fire deals damage to that creature and that player equal to the revealed card's converted mana cost. That's just terrible.
The amount of times this is going to do nothing.
Target
It's
creature's
gonna be
controller. Oh, controller. Okay, that's really bad.
So I hold a land and something else in my
Yeah.
hand. You cast that. I reveal a land and go.
Yeah.
That's
The-
yeah.
the-
Just play
the
fire
best-
and nothing happens.
The best thing about this card is that it's an uncommon, so you're not going to see as many of it as a bad common.
I'm just going to move on and go to Goblin Heel Cutter for 1 red and 3 for a 3/2. Whenever Goblin Heel Cutter attacks, target creature can't block this turn. It's got dash for 1 red and 2. This is a good card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this guy.
So often I found myself just killing it on the spot when I was playing against it, just because
It's a pain in the ass.
it was a pain in the ass.
It just being able to take 1 blocker away from combat is huge.
You've got your big ass defender there, and they've got their 1 creature out. They put this out for the dash. Your guy can't block, and they're coming through with 2 guys.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's something you really got to play around.
Yes, absolutely, I agree with that.
Gorspine,
Moving on.
1 red and 2 for a 4/1.
It
That's
turns
it.
on ferocious. Let's keep going.
He's fine.
Humble Defector, 1 red and 1 for a 2/1 body. With tap, draw 2 cards. Target opponent gains control of Humble Defector. Activate this ability only during your turn. This is a commander card.
He's good with refocus in limited.
Yep.
You can tap him,
And
and then
in
in
response,
response, untap him and tap him again and draw 5 cards and give him away. Or you can cast
I can't-
collateral damage and then sacrifice.
I can't
it.
convince you on a flying man. Limited, but you go.
Oh, I'm not going to do it, but it's possible.
I think this guy's alright.
Most of the time you're playing this as a 2-mana 2/1.
Mhm.
And if you're in a situation where you really need the cards, you'll use the ability.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
actually
his
good
hand
to
up.
have access to. To be
It's
honest.
just a picture of a dude getting his hands up.
It is literally. It is literally a picture of a dude getting his hair cut.
Who is the artist for this one?
Slavomir Man.
He was probably just.
Time for that dude to lift his game.
Yeah.
Hungering Yeti, 1 red and 4 for a 4/4 body. As long as you control a green or blue permanent, you may cast Hungering Yeti as though it had flash.
I was playing this over the earlier one, the manifest that gets 2+1/+1 counters, just because the flash was more valuable to me.
Was it good?
Doesn't seem bad. Look, if you can flash him in a 4/4 body,
It's pretty good combat trick.
Yeah, great.
But
coverage.
yeah, if you
Outside of that, it's.
if you can't turn on the flash reliably, it's kind of average.
Yeah.
This format, like without that ability, it's just worse than normal because it's
Absolutely. Yes.
Lightning Shrieker, 1 red and 4 for a 5/5 flying trample haste dragon. At the beginning of the end step, Lightning Shrieker's owner shuffles it into his or her library.
Great flavor. Like. it's
I-
good.
I played it in pre-release.
Yeah.
It won me games.
Look, I don't care what anyone says. I love this card. I want to draft as many as I can.
It's 5 damage on a stick.
It's a lot. Right?
Yeah, you need to want a lava break. So I don't know how many decks actually want a lava
I
break.
just missed this
And-
one pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it's worse than the lava break. It's like the chances of shuffling it back in and then drawing it again and it being relevant.
Did it?
Yeah.
But
But
Like
if,
the game.
if you've played this as a Lava Rex and you shuffle it back in, don't you want to draw it again so you can Lava Rex them again?
yeah, you want to draw it again, but I think the chances of you drawing it again.
Or you draw one of the other cards in your deck. It's
So it's arguably better.
yeah, it's a
than
better.
Lava
but
Rex.
apart from except when your opponent has removal and blockers.
Yeah.
Which is probably more likely
Yeah,
for them
okay,
to
so
have
yeah.
removal and blockers.
In the
If
sense
you
of
can draw a second, they just redraw it.
Yeah.
Like it's fine.
I like it. I dismissed it pretty quickly in
Yeah.
Seal because obviously Seal.
I just really enjoy playing the kind of deck that this is good in limited, where you're just playing like aggressive creatures and you're attacking with
Yeah,
it.
I can imagine the deck that this would fit into.
Lewis Adams, aggressive creatures in your draft deck. You heard it first through his mouth. Just we got that.
Marley Runemark, 1 red and 2 enchantment. Or enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and first strike as long as you control a white or black permanent. We're moving on.
Yeah, I think
We've
we
said
said
enough.
enough
We've
about
said enough about the
this
remark.
card with the previous remarks. Just go back and watch the other videos if you care.
Now this card I do like. Marley Scout for 2 red for a 3/1 body and it's got dash for 1 red and 1. I think this goes into your mono red devotion.
Yeah, this is probably the card that makes the resurgence happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need a 2-drop.
You need
Is
a
this-
2-drop.
That's a good one.
Is this the first 2-mana 3/1 in red without a downside?
Well, Hellspark Elemental was pretty bad. With no
But that-
downside.
We have to sacrifice it.
Oh yeah,
It's so
yeah,
bad
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
massive.
yeah.
That's a small downside.
Yes, it's like downside.
I don't know.
This guy's great. I like him. I like him as limited. I like him.
He is riding a surfboard
He is.
down sand pit. Like you can
It's not a sand pit.
There's a sand pit. Sand dune, sand pit. Something with sand.
This was ankle shaker before ankle shaker.
He's
It's
great.
a freaking gigantic sandpit.
Yeah, there you go. See?
He's awesome. Play him.
Yeah,
He's not playing.
Mob rule. 2
Frank
red
just
and
does when you're
4.
playing against him.
No, fine, I'll kill it.
Sorcery. Choose one. Gain control of all creatures with power 4 or greater until end of turn. Untap those creatures. They gain haste until end of turn. Or gain control of all creatures with power 3 or less until end of turn. Untap those creatures. They gain haste until end of turn.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I like this.
I think this is solid.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty strong.
Yeah, I'd probably pick this if I had the
And look at the art.
The art is sweet.
Fucking apes.
Yeah,
We'll just beat that
Yeah,
one
sorry.
word out.
it's very interesting card as to how it goes about.
Is it possible to
have one
stand?
in-
Nah.
Nah, we haven't had one of these in a long time.
too expensive.
Like no mass hysteria or anything like that in the last couple of sets.
Mass hysteria. 1 red or creature.
Oh,
It's
let's
creature.
start
Insurrection.
interaction. Sorry, yeah. What was the last kind of one we had? For
Wasn't
this?
that like Tidwell's Ultimate or something like that?
That was
Yeah,
interaction.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
I
probably the
think that
last
was
one we
last
had.
time we had it.
Yeah.
And no one ever did that.
Could be a lot of fun in Commander.
So
This card. A lot of fun,
Yes,
Commander.
yes.
A lot of fun.
Yes. For
Grabbing
the,
all your opponent's guys
Yeah,
and beating them up with it
for the red decks.
for the red decks. Outpost Siege, 1 red and 3 enchantment. As it enters the battlefield, choose Khans or Dragons. Khans, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play this card. Dragons, whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, Outpost Siege deals 1 damage to target creature or player. In my opinion, the worst of the siege cards. And why am I going to play
In
this
what,
over the worst of the siege?
In what?
In which format?
In what format?
Any format.
Oh, it's good and limited.
I think
I
say
like this
that's
one
really.
too.
I never saw it being played limited, but I heard a lot of people telling stories about how awesome it was.
I enjoy a card every time.
Well,
In constructed, I can't see this being played over Chandler.
I can see it getting played in conjunction.
yeah.
No?
I think the where this is better than Chandra is that it's not Planeswalker to be attacked.
Yeah, can't get attacked.
Like there are upsides and downsides.
So if we were to play this in standard, where would we placing it? So
I
side by side with Chandra, or in layout of Chandra, but in what decks are we looking to play?
The red white aggressive deck with the like the sand black type.
The
deck.
red white tokens.
Yeah, that's what like he was pretty high on this card, and I saw a few other people looking at similar lists with this card in it.
Well, Sam Black did say that he wanted more copies of Chandra in his deck tech, so
Mm.
that would probably be where that would.
Yeah, I'm
range
pretty sure.
as well, like
I'm pretty sure it was his article. He had a bunch of decks that had this card in it.
Oh,
It
really?
was either his or Patrick Jacobs,
I have.
and they had like 3 or 4 copies of.
How
Okay.
is it?
I
It was on
can
stuff
see
that
I
you
can
can-
see the red mid-range decks liking this card.
Yeah, I feel like Goblin holding out burst into this is it's very similar to like Riddle Lord Chief
And
strength.
Yeah, I
in
think
limited, I would slam pick this if I opened it in limited.
I think it's very good.
It's very good with dash. Being able to draw an extra card every turn is just I don't even need to explain why that's good.
I think it's pretty strong. Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see if it does actually get standard play because it's interesting cards. Interesting cards a bit.
Yep.
Not Cindranas. Cindranas.
I think it's better than the black.
or anything with red.
Oh, it's for standard, absolutely.
Pyrotechnics, 1 red and 4. Sorcery deals 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and/or players. Limited bomb.
Play it.
Yeah, you're
Always
playing
right.
unlimited.
Yeah.
You can get 2 for 1, 3 for 1.
4 for 1.
If they're playing really bad flying men. But pick it
Flying
all
men.
day.
Flying men.
Rage Form, 2 red and 2 enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, it becomes an aura with enchant creature. Manifest the top card of your library and attach Rage Form to it. And it has double strike.
Out of the 3 forms, I think this is the worst of a really good cycle. I think they're all really
I
good.
think that's fair.
Yeah, I think the 4 mana makes it.
Yeah, the
Oh,
four-
I
the four
had
mana.
2 of these, and I wasn't I was only playing Sarkin as a double red. I didn't want to play these, but yeah, this guy's sweet. I think this guy's
Yeah,
sweet.
I played the white one and this one, and the white one was just fast superior.
Yeah. I feel like if you just get lucky, you flip this thing and you just get anything decent, like 3 to 4 power on this thing. It's
Yeah.
I saw-
I said I was going to win the game.
yeah,
I saw,
very quickly.
Robert had 2 of these in his deck, and he was unlucky enough to manifest the other one.
That's great.
Shaman of the Great Hunt, 1 red and 3 for a 4/2 body with haste. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it with Ferocious for 2 and a green and the blue, and another green and the blue. Draw a card for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. This was the other bomb rare I got in my pre-release
Yeah, yeah.
pack. He was alright.
I think
Like, I
it's
never
all-
used the Ferocious ability.
I think this guy's applicable to standard.
I feel like he doesn't feel mythic enough for me. Like I think he's
No.
only mythic because
None
he's
of
in
the
that
no
cycle.
cycle feels mythic.
Soulfire, the white one, I reckon feels mythic.
Yeah,
Brutal Watch and-
It doesn't feel that. It's just a hell runner.
yeah, that.
I don't know where this guy fits into standard though. I
Yeah.
can't see
I'm
him
saying
fitting
you
into
can
red deck
see him
wins.
in there.
The
He
fact-
has taste.
The fact
That's
that he's
nice.
got haste,
Yeah.
you can go like 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop, play.
Well,
him,
you have the
swing with
Flame Wraith
everything.
Phoenix into Shaman of the Great Hunt.
Yep.
Like that's a.
Flame Wreath Phoenix is the one.
Oh, so not Flame.
No,
The one we just.
the Flame Blake.
Oh, yeah, you know
The Phoenix in this set.
The
Yeah,
Chandra's
yeah,
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a really offensive fast curve that this guy can fit right into.
He's a late game mana sink as well. That's pretty
Yeah,
decent.
yeah,
The
I
fact-
like him.
The fact that
And if
at,
you're attacking,
at the least you're drawing one card if you activate it.
if you're attacking with that Flamewake's Phoenix, gets a +1/+1
Exactly,
counter
yeah.
as well. So it can certainly,
Yeah, 3/3 flyers,
help you
nothing to
guys.
sneeze at.
Yeah, I just don't like him against Corsa.
Yeah, Corsa's the downside to this,
Yeah.
but absolutely.
What about with the red enchantment that makes you guys unblockable as well?
That's only for
Power
Two
two or
Power-
less.
oh,
Oh, power to less, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be good with this guy, but yeah.
Shockball Dragon, 2 red and 4 for a 4/4 flyer. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it deals 1 damage to each creature that player controls.
Yep.
I like that ability when you've got just a closed board state and you're swinging with him and a bunch of other guys.
yeah. All your
Just
creatures
makes
have an extra power essentially.
Yeah. Well, they just have one last toughness, yeah.
Bob Unlimited, probably not going to get anything standard.
Nah.
This
No,
guy's
these dragons, these uncommon dragons, they're not constructed.
This guy is hilarious.
Don't play this guy.
Smolderigger Feet. 1 red and 1 for a 2/2. When it dies, it deals 2 damage to you.
What a
It
bomb.
sucks.
You're not happy when you're playing him in limited.
He's great.
Sometimes you need a 2-mana 2/2 when you're playing, but you're not happy. You feel very bad.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing bears. Well, you do when you're playing
Bad
bears. And
bears.
you don't want your bears to be killing you.
Bad bears.
That guy's a bad news bear. Team of Battle Rage. 1 red and 1 for an instant. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Ferocious. That creature also gains trample until end of turn if you control a creature with power 4 or greater.
I can see people dying to this.
Yeah. Any double strike that can be granted at instant speed can be pretty bad.
I'm not a huge fan of this, but I can see.
You can get around it.
implications
I
in
can
it.
see people
get
dying to it, but I don't think it's a card I want to
Oh,
play.
no, I never said that. And it's not a card that I want to play, but like I said, I can still see people dying to it
Yeah,
just
it's
because it's a great
Yeah, it's
20
definitely going to win games.
Yeah.
But whether it's actually a good card or not.
Yeah, up for grabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, cards like this find their way into the draft decks
Yeah.
for all sorts of reasons, and they can be pretty strong in certain situations.
Vaultbreaker. 1 red and 3 for a 4/2. When Vaultbreaker attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card with dash for 1 red and 2.
It's
Do we
fine.
like it?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't
Um,
like it that much.
he's not one of the better cards to have.
Yeah.
But he's a decent card to attack with.
Four, two toughness.
Being able to loot.
Two tough.
Two toughness is bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he fills that
If
4
you're-
drop spot, but there seems to be a lot of
It's just
cards.
if
that
you're
are
on
good.
the you're on the draw against say another opponent, they generally by turn 3 they have a 2/2.
Yeah.
You know, morph
Yeah,
manifest.
2/2 is like the base
And
stats
you
for a
just-
creature.
Yeah, and you
It's
just
format.
don't want to dash this guy into a 2/2. You just don't. And you probably don't want to play this guy on turn 4 because he's a 4/2
Yeah.
with no upside because you generally can't attack unless the field's open. In which case you probably just want a better creature.
Moving on. Our last card is Wild Slash for 1 red. Instance.
Mhm.
Ferocious. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, damage can't be prevented this turn. And it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So it's a shock with an upside.
They're
Yeah,
shot with a-
I love how in the same set there's a bad lightning bolt and a good shock.
yeah.
I love this card.
Yeah, this card is just everywhere at the
This,
moment.
yeah, this card is so good for standard.
So limited, yes. Standard, yes.
Yep.
It's better in standard than limited.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, limited
Are we
is on
going-
2/2.
Are we going
Standard's
any
on
further
2/2.
than standard with it?
Sorry?
Are we going any further than standard with it?
Any deck that decides to play shock, then
With
yeah.
Sue playing Sea Grind, does this come in instead of?
If they care about that damage can't be prevented.
I don't think they're playing shock.
but
I do not
I
think you
think
can find a
Light,
spot
I
there.
think lightning bolt's just better than what
Yep.
most of the time.
And I mean, if you're going to play this
Yeah,
one,
but you
just
gotta
play
play. You
Skullcrack.
gotta play this as actually. You never play this.
If you're going to play this one, just play Skullcrack.
Yeah.
But otherwise, solid card. I like it.
I think everybody's a fan of this. Like, yeah, like Tyler said, this thing hoses a lot of decks right now. It makes just like Jeskai really hard. It makes
Yeah,
like Green.
it's
Even
like
Green Red
Green
Monsters sucks against this.
Mm.
This hits so many cards from Green Red Monsters. Like, it's just really good.
Excellent. So red overall, what do we think?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Love Wild Slash.
Yeah, Wild Slash is brilliant. I'm not sold on it.
There
I don't
are
like
some
that.
cool designs. There's some decent things going on, but
I still feel Wizards needs to get even more inventive with red. 'Colour, as a
Well-
colour to make it better.
I think.
I think, like, I think lightning bolts is just better than what most of the time.
I think.
I think
I think they're doing a pretty decent
hard.
job. Like the Chandra durability, for lack of a better way to
That's
call it.
probably the best card out of the red, to be honest.
So we still on the white as the best colour so
I
far?
think white hoses this. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that brings us to the end of our red. We've got 2 lots to go, which is green, and then we're going to do all the multicoloured artifacts lands. So click the next link, and you'll see us real soon.